Nobody expected this. Nobody predicted this. But the Chicago Bears just sent a message that shook the entire NFL. A 24-5 Black Friday beatdown. A 9th win of the season. And suddenly, the whole league is asking one question: are the Chicago Bears actually becoming a real Super Bowl threat? Let's talk about it. Because when a team goes 5-0 in November, when they walk into Philly and embarrass the defending champs in their own stadium, and when they sit at 9-3 heading into December, that's not luck. That's not hype. That's a legitimate football team announcing themselves. Now look, I'm not crowning anybody yet. But when you're the number 2 seed in the NFC, when your arrow is pointing straight up, and when every week you look sharper, stronger, more confident, you're officially in the conversation, whether the national media likes it or not. Speaking of conversations, let's settle something right now. Is Chicago truly a Super Bowl contender? Some fans are yelling yes, some are still saying not yet, but after what they did to the Eagles, it's getting harder and harder to doubt this team. Before we go deeper, if you love Chicago Bears content every single day, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and smash the bell icon so you never miss an update. Alright, let's keep rolling. If there's one thing I trust even more than their playoff chances, it's this: Chicago might be building the best rushing attack in the entire NFL. Since the bye week, this ground game has gone from solid to dangerous to flat-out dominant. And against a Vic Fangio defense, someone Chicago fans know very well, the Bears didn't just run the ball. They controlled the entire game with it. Kyle Monangai, DeAndre Swift. Both were explosive, patient, and absolutely relentless. If this backfield gets any more consistent, defensive coordinators are going to lose sleep trying to stop it. And honestly, this feels like just the beginning. So don't go anywhere, because the next part of this season is about to get really interesting. Stay with me. Ever since the bye week, this backfield has turned into something special. The numbers only tell half the story: yards, touchdowns, yards per carry. But when you actually watch them play, you see a duo that's attacking defenses with confidence, rhythm, and a level of control that changes entire games. Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift aren't just putting up stats, they're setting the tone. And against Philadelphia, they combined for over 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, and it didn't even look difficult. It looked inevitable. A few weeks back, I talked about what separates a fun team from a real contender. One of the biggest signs? A running game that can win anywhere: home, road, cold weather, playoffs, you name it. And Chicago just proved it against a heavyweight. They didn't sneak out a win. They didn't rely on a lucky break. They physically took the game from the Eagles. They wore down the defending champs snap after snap, and by the fourth quarter, it was obvious: Chicago's identity is built on power, patience, and punishment. Ben Johnson leaned into it. This offensive line leaned into it. And the running backs delivered over and over again. What makes this offense dangerous is its simplicity. You don't need Caleb Williams to play the hero. You don't need him throwing it 45 times. You just need him to be efficient and deadly off play action, and he's been one of the best in the league doing exactly that. And credit where it's due. This offensive line has become the backbone of the entire operation. Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney, Darnell Wright, Drew Dalman, AZ Trapillo, this group has stepped up and embraced the pressure. They're not just blocking, they're dictating what Chicago football looks like. When a team can line up and say, "We're running the ball," and you still can't stop it, that's the kind of football that wins in January. And this team is built exactly for that. The holidays should be joyful, not a headache. But this season, scammers are stealthier than ever, and one false click can turn a great day into a disaster. Don't fall for the shiny trap. If a deal looks unbelievable, it probably is. Before you buy, slow down. Check the website address for tiny misspellings, read a couple of recent reviews, and never give out full card details to a site you don't trust. Use card alerts or bank notifications so you see strange charges the moment they happen. Enable two-factor authentication wherever possible, and if something smells fishy, step away and verify it on a trusted source. A little caution today can save a lot of heartache tomorrow. Now let's pivot to Caleb Williams, because he's the story everyone's dissecting. I've got a small level of concern about his accuracy, but not a full-blown panic. When he misses, it's often not the arm or the arm strength, it's mechanics and timing. Rushing throws, not setting his feet, and forcing reads into traffic cost him chances. We saw a few of those on Friday, throws that needed one more beat, one cleaner set of feet. Here's the reality: Caleb doesn't have to be Superman. He just has to be consistent. Clean footwork, calm reads, and trusting the run game to open play action will mask some of the rough edges. When he takes that extra half second and lets the pocket settle, his throws snap back to elite level. Fix those small, repeatable things and the ceiling suddenly feels a lot higher. Sometimes Caleb just looks a little too fired up, like the moment is moving faster than his mechanics can catch up. Yes, the wind played a part, but even without it, he's not going to finish this season as some ultra-accurate 68% passer. And sure, that can be frustrating. Every game, there are 2 or 3 throws where you think, come on, he has to hit that. But here's the thing nobody can deny: when the Bears desperately need a play, Caleb finds a way to deliver one. Right after that interception, a moment where lesser quarterbacks spiral, he bounced right back. He hit Coulson Loveland on a pressure-packed 4th down that kept the entire drive alive. And then came that throw. The one to KT that might be Caleb's best of the year. Rolling left, pressure closing in, Swift wide open underneath for an easy gain, and instead he squares his shoulders, threads it over the top, and drops a gorgeous 28-yard touchdown into the corner. That's not normal. That's special. This is what makes evaluating him so fascinating. You see the missed throws, but then he turns around and pulls off something only a handful of quarterbacks can do. That's why it's a minor concern, not a crisis. The consistency will come maybe later this season, maybe next year, maybe as he gets deeper into this system. But the foundation? It's already winning football. Now, let's shift to what every Chicago fan has been waiting for. It's Packers week. The moment the schedule flipped, the energy changed. 2 matchups in the next 3 weeks. A fight for first place. A push for playoff seeding. A showdown at Lambeau with massive implications: divisional, conference, everything. You can already feel the tension building. Fans chirping online. Analysts finally admitting Chicago isn't a joke. And both teams staring at each other knowing what's at stake. This isn't just another game. This is the stretch that can redefine the season. It's going to be electric, absolutely electric. The tension, the history, the stakes, everything is lining up for one of the most intense stretches of football this team has faced in years. Chicago now enters a 2-game, 3-week collision with Green Bay, and every snap from here on out feels heavier, louder, and bigger than the last. This isn't just another rivalry chapter. It feels like a turning point. A chance to rewrite narratives, silence doubters, and take control of the division in front of the entire football world. The build-up has already started. Fans are fired up. Social media is chaos. Every conversation keeps circling back to one thing: the Bears finally look ready for this moment. No merch. No promos. Just football. Just the fire of a fan base that's tired of waiting and ready to take what's theirs. So gear up, get your mind right, and buckle in, because the next couple of weeks are going to be wild. Chicago versus Green Bay, twice. Playoff implications everywhere. Momentum on the line. Respect on the line. Stay with me, because the best part of this ride is coming next.